Welcome back to the Gardening with Joy and Holly radio show. Happy to have you around today, allowing us to be part of your day. Miss any of those coupon codes or those companies financially supporting the program so you can hear us every week, you can go to our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, underneath the Money tab and the Season 9 tab at the top of the page. Time for your garden questions and our garden answers. You got a question, fire it on over here to gardentalkradio@gmail.com. That's gardentalkradio@gmail.com. Or you can give us a call toll free, coast to coast at 1-800-927-SHOW. That's 1-800-927-7469. We've got a couple of calls lined up, and we should have some answers as well.
Hello, guys. This is Ilona calling from Highland, Michigan. I hear you on WHAM 1600. My question is Thuricide, Thuricide, a type of BT. I'm wondering, I'm assuming it's not organic, but is it safe to use on my cabbages? And do I apply it when I first see a problem or prior? And how long before harvest can I apply this?
Well, we always appreciate Ilona checking in with us, and you can help her with that.
Yeah, so the BT, the Thuricide, can be applied as soon as you see a problem. Something like cabbage, you can do the cabbage netting, but that doesn't always guarantee
days of harvest.
Yeah, and then for the BT, days of harvest is 0, so you could. There's no problem.
Spray it on that morning, and then make sure
Harvest.
they're all have deceased, and then harvest your product right away.
Yep, correct.
All right, I think that's what I think. Did we miss anything there?
I think that's it.
Yeah. All right, let's go up to Yankton, South Dakota.
Yeah, this is Ed, Worthington, Minnesota. Question is on the fern peonies. Don't seem to be able to find seeds for them. I was wondering if I could cut down and split one at the root system and replant it. And the seeds, I harvested them last year, but they didn't germinate. I don't know if I harvested them too quickly. They were brown, but yeah, give me some pointers.
Well, Ed, thank you for giving us a call. And you want to do this in the fall, as many of the peonies are already starting to grow now. In the fall, once the foliage has died back, you want to cut it back, clean it all up, and then you can dig up the whole root system. Then you can rinse it off with water so you can see what you're dealing with and you don't have a big glob of soil. And you can divide the roots as long as you have about 3 to 5 eyes or buds in each clump that you can replant it and move it around. You do not want to replant it any deeper than 2 inches below your top cutting. Whenever you bury your roots, and then your bulb should be your buds should be no more than 2 inches below soil level. And be sure you water it in thoroughly and to make sure it takes and it gets established. And if all goes well, you'll have them transplanted and growing next spring. The seeds, you can save the seeds. You do want them to, the way Ed described that he did exactly what he was supposed to do. It's one of those things. We save tomato seeds and not all of them are viable. And it may be just one of those things. And I don't know what it is. We couldn't, there was some, we looked for them online. Jungseed.com has some are sold out. I do not advise buying any type of seed, bulb, anything like that on the big A on the internet, because it's just not a trusted service. The growers are very, there's no trusting there. Jungseed.com, Edmund Roses, R.H. Shumway, Totally Tomatoes, legitimate companies that's been around for decades, and they have a phone number in which you can call and talk to somebody if something's not right. You can't do that on Amazon. Well, you can do that on Amazon, but to somebody that doesn't care, they'll just go, "Oh, here, refund or no refund. Thanks, buy from us again." The corporate customer service. So, If you want to be like Ed, you want to be like Ed, you can call 1-800-927-SHOW. That's 1-800-927-7469, or Ilona. Yeah, we appreciate the phone calls. Let's see what else we can get through the top of the hour here. Here's one for you. I want to get a jump start on my beans. Can I start them in seed trays and then transplant them in the garden?
That's a no for me.
No. Don't
do that. It doesn't. It's not going to give you a jump start.
The speed is actually going to be like we talked about in the first segment with the cucumbers. You plant a bean seed, and you plant a bean start, which you've probably paid like $3 for at the garden center. You've poured it, you dumped it out, you've disrupted the roots. If the transplant survives, they're going to be about the same in 4 weeks. Now, you can speed up germination on any type of seed by soaking it. Based on the size, soaking it for a few hours to 12 hours or 1 day in order to hydrate the seed. Then you plant it. It's already swelled up. You're going to get like a 3 to 5 day jump on the germination in that realm. You can use regular water. You can use compost tea. Anything to soak it. If you're going to do okra, you want to soak it in 2% milk, because the lactic acid in the milk will help eat away the seed coating and speed up the germination rate on your okra. 135 different varieties of okra in the world. Yeah. So do not. That's the same thing with carrots or radishes. Or squashes or cucumbers. You see at the garden center, they sell it because people buy it. You all are smarter than that. Don't buy it. Just buy the seeds, plant it, and you're going to be much more happier with the results and limiting the variable of the plant dying and the frustration that you're going to have and the money you wasted. All right. Can you tell me why my seedling onions that have sprouted have little black seeds on the top of them? First time grower here. That's just simply...
That's a seed coat.
That's the seed coat that hasn't fell off of the top of the plant. You're going to see this with a lot of different... with pretty much every plant in which you're going to grow. You're going to see that little seed top and nothing. Don't touch it. Don't worry. Let the seedling develop and cause it to fall off naturally. I got some hanging baskets, and it appears in the hanging basket there is empty egg shape or round ball shapes that are in the top of the hanging basket. Do I need to be concerned?
I wouldn't be concerned. I'm going to assume that's some sort of fungi.
No, that's going to be fertilizer. That's going to be the fertilizer caps or the
like vermiculite, perlite?
Osmocote.
Okay.
There's other fertilizers that when it's water dispersible, they're put in there, and then when the water happens, they break apart and disperse into the soil. Okay, so you may think it's like an egg or a bug or something.
No, because my dad, he bought... I don't know, some houseplant recently, and he did get a couple little fungi that grew, and they looked like tiny little, squishy eggs.
In hanging baskets, this would be more of the answer without a photograph to go off of. I've seen this a lot of times, especially after holidays, where hanging plants are very predominantly sold, and people are like, what are these little empty things? Or these eggs that have hatched in my plant? And it certainly is not. So that is something to be aware of. So that will about do it for today. You got anything to add to that?
I'm just happy that it's finally almost summer
in most parts of the country. Yeah,
it's like late to mid to late spring, or I guess more, I don't know, whatever. But I'm just happy that we're here and that it's finally warming up again and the days are longer, so I'm always happy about that.
And whenever you're planting your plants out there, and some of you have already got your garden planted based on where you're listing from, some of you are still dealing with some snow or very cold temperatures, be sure whatever you do, take as many variables out of the situation as you possibly can. Make sure what you're planting is the correct time. Make sure it's the correct soil temperature. Make sure it's the correct spacing. And yes, if the internet or your book or the back of the seed packet says space 1 every 8 inches, yes, you can get away with planting 1 every 6 inches and squeezing a couple more plants in a 20 or 30 foot row. That's not a big deal. It's whenever people go, oh, I'll put 4 right here. And instead of spacing them out 6 inches, they just throw, there's certain plants like beets and carrots that do need to be thinned because of the size of the seed or the variation of the cluster seeds like Swiss chard and beetroot and beet have that you've got to thin out. But other than that, be smart about it. Make one move, make it count, and invest in an irrigation system and protection of your plants so animals don't eat it.
And as always, if it's too good to be true, seems too good to be true, it probably is. But, if you have a question about something, we are here for you.
Garden Talk Radio, gmail.com, or toll free, coast to coast, anytime. Leave a message if we can't get to you and answer the phone. It's 1-800-927-SHOW.